Hello, welcome back to the Low Action. This episode I'm going to do something a little different. I'm not going to go over a guitar. I know, bummer, right? But rather I want to talk about some accessories that I use. I do want to preface this video by saying I do not have any endorsements with these companies. I do not get paid to make any endorsements. These are just things that I use personally and I enjoy using, and I would like to tell you about them and maybe recommend them to you. Cool. Hopefully you find this mildly entertaining. Let's get started. The first thing I want to tell you about are Thalia Capos. These are handmade in San Francisco, and you can get them with several different types of wood around the capo there. This is Brazilian rosewood. I first saw these in an advertisement in a magazine, and I thought, wow, these are really beautiful. And like every other guitar player, I was having issues where when I use a capo, my guitar goes out of tune. I tried Kaisers, threw them at the wall, frustrated. I've tried Shub tuners, which tend to work a little bit better. They were $28, which I thought was crazy expensive, but they did a better job of keeping the guitar in tune when you use them. So I grabbed a couple of those and threw them in my gig bag. And then I started to read about why your guitar goes out of tune when you use a capo, and the reason for that is different guitar manufacturers use different radiuses for their fretboards. You can have 16-inch, you can have 12-inch, you can have 9 1/4, you can have 7 1/2, all kinds of different radiuses. So when you have a capo like the Kaisers that only have one radius, and it doesn't match the radius of your fingerboard, you're going to have tuning issues. No matter how you angle it or where you put it as far as where the fret actually is, it doesn't matter. You're going to have strings with more pressure on it than others. You have some strings that are barely touching the capo at all. So what Thalia has done is they come in a little pack with 7 different pieces of rubber. And these little pieces of rubber actually click in and out of the capo, so they're interchangeable. And what they are is they're different radiuses. Here I have a 16-inch radius piece of rubber clipped in here because that's the radius of the fretboard of my Hoffman. So when you have your capo matching the radius of your fretboard, you basically solve your issue with your guitar sounding out of tune when you put a capo on. And these are great quality capo, unmatched by anything. The spring action works beautifully. It's not loose enough where it's going to fall off of the guitar, but it's not too tight where it's hard to adjust. The only downside I found to Thalia is that they're $80. And $80 for a capo is absolutely insane, I think. But they're handmade, good quality capo, so be it. The good thing about Thalia is they do run sales often. I believe right now for the coronavirus pandemic, they're doing pre-orders basically right now for 50% off. Where as soon as they're allowed to go back to work, they're going to ship them. But you basically pay 50% off for waiting. I actually got mine. This was a B stock, and I have yet to find anything wrong with it. But I think I paid $45 for mine, and I was so impressed with this capo that I went ahead and ordered a second one for my nephew. They just are that cool, man. So if you're having issues, if you want a nice capo to match your guitar, there's several different wood styles, wood kinds available, different colors. You can get them in gold, you can get them in chrome, get them in black, whatever. If you just want a nice custom capo, or if you're having tuning issues like I was, check them out. That website will be in the description below. So after I did my video on the B-Bender Telecaster, I've had a couple of people ask me what the black thing clipped onto my headstock was. And it's this right here. It's a Jimmy clip. What it is, it's like a clothespin type of metal device with some foam on the inside. And what you do is you clip this. I put them on my headstock beyond the nut. And what it does is it cuts out string overtones. When you're done playing, after you strike the strings, there's always like a little, I don't know, string chime that resonates as the string vibrations move through the strings up the headstock. It's also very apparent if you have like a hollow body guitar, acoustic guitars, guitars with a Bigsby. I keep one on the B-Bender because there's a lot of metal on the back of that guitar, and it tends to be a noisy guitar. These things come in a 2-pack. There's a long one for near a tailpiece, like on this D'Angelico, and then there's a short one, which I clip behind the headstock on guitars, and they really work. I mean, I will not record a guitar without a Jimmy clip. And in a second here, I'm going to make an attempt to record some acoustic guitar with and without the Jimmy clip, so you can hear for yourself how it cuts out the string chime overtones, and it just kind of tightens things up. It makes your guitar a lot cleaner, a lot tighter, and especially when you're recording, if you've got something that's a hard stop, it's a hard stop and silence. Which is nice. It helps with mastering and keeping things, your recordings tight. So let's have a listen to the Jimmy clip and see if you guys can hear what I'm talking about. So as you can hear, the first set of string hits, there is like this chimey overtone that resonates after I'm done hitting the string. The second set of string hits with the Jimmy clip, that's gone. It's just a string hit and it's clean. It's dead, no sound. So that's what the Jimmy clip does. These things are great. I've got several packs of them. Every time I buy a new guitar, I order a set of Jimmy clip. And the people over there at Jimmy Clip are pretty awesome to deal with. In fact, they started making their own guitar strings, and they've sent me a couple of packs with my Jimmy Clip orders, and they're actually pretty decent guitar strings. So get on over to their website, check them out. The link will be in the description below, and really get some Jimmy Clips on your guitars. Time to tighten up your tone. All guitar players know, or you should know, and if you don't, this is going to be a very important lesson, but you need to store your guitars in proper humidity situations, okay? Good humidity levels for guitar storage is 45 to 55%. You don't want to get your guitar too dry, wood will crack. You don't want it too wet either, because things bow, knocked out of place, whatever. So you can monitor your humidity levels in your area where you store your guitars with a little hydrometer. All right, I bought this on Amazon for like 10, 15 bucks. And right now we're at 45% in this room. Luckily, this isn't the room where I store guitars, but 45 to 55% is ideal for guitars, especially acoustic guitars. But this just came out of my guitar storage room, which is at 45%, and I'm happy with that. So if you drop below 45%, you want to we run like a little humidifier in our room. If you're over 55%, this is Northeast Ohio, so it gets hot and humid here, and we tend to run, Jen and I have an old home We don't have central air, so we run window units. The best thing for removing humidity out of the air is air conditioning. So if we tend to run a little higher than 55%, I'll kick on the window AC unit in the summertime until it gets back down to where we need it to be, and then I can shut it off. So I kind of adjust the humidity levels with a humidifier and a window AC unit, which also keeps our home cool in the summer. We have a 3-bedroom house. There's 3 bedrooms up here on the second floor. So each room has a window unit. So if I need to shut that one off, I can turn one of the other ones on. And it does a pretty good job of keeping the house cool. We don't have any issues there. Another thing that I do to battle humidity, I have a vintage Charles Hoffman acoustic guitar, which is priceless to me. And the original case was destroyed. It looked like it'd been through a war. Just completely beat up. So when I went to replace the case for it, I came across this company called Humicase. And what it is, it's a wood hard shell case. They make a lot of them for classical guitars. They come with Cordova guitars. So you'll see a lot of classical shaped cases, but they do make a dreadnought case, as I have here. And it just seemed like an interesting thing to me. What you have is, everybody have seen those sponges you put down between the strings, to keep your guitar humidified, which is great. If you don't have a Humicase, I definitely recommend you use those, especially in the wintertime. But you open up the case, and inside the lid you have one of these humidifier systems built into the case, and it's really simple to use. You unscrew the sponge from the lid of the case, run it under water, soak that sponge up pretty good, then screw it back in, and you're good to go. Now, these Humicases also, underneath the headstock, have an area where you can have a built-in hydrometer right there in the case. Now, the Humicases do not come with the hydrometers, but they are available. I think it was $30 on Reverb, and so I picked one up, threw it in there, because, hey, I'm one of those knuckleheads that likes to watch the humidity levels on my guitars. Everybody knows, if you're a guitar player, that guitars are expensive, and we want to take care of them. That said, and I know I'm probably going to get some arguments for this, as I have a lot of friends who do not do this, but I'm one of those people. I'm in the camp where if you're not playing your guitar, it goes in the case, and they are stored in cases. If your case is set at a humidity level of 45 to 55%, you put the guitar in there and you close it. If the elements change outside of the case, there's a pretty good chance they're going to stay the same inside the case, if it's a good case and it seals properly. So I do not store guitars outside of the case often. If I'm not playing them on a regular basis, they go in the case. So I guess the Humicase is only as good as the hard shell case. How good of a hard shell case is it? Well, it came in at about $130. And if you remove the fact that I have a built-in hydrometer and the humidifier system, if you take that all out, is it still a decent hard shell case? Yes. The clasps work perfectly. It seems to have a good seal. Everything about it feels like it was quality made, like it's a decent case. Now, if you have a decent Tolex covered wood shell hard shell case, and it's well made from a reputable company, $130 is not an outlandish price to pay for a good hard shell case. So even if you remove the humidifier and the built-in hydrometer, you still have a really nice, well-built hard shell case. So if you have an acoustic guitar that is precious to you, or something that you want to take good care of, Humicase, I highly recommend them. They're great. In fact, I'm thinking about getting a second one for my classical guitar. If I just had some extra money, I'd throw it out there. The link to this to Humicase will be in the description below. That's it. Hopefully you found this mildly entertaining and or informative. If you're interested in any of these products, the links to their websites is in the description below. You're also more than welcome to send me a message, and I can guide you or help you out any way I can. Again, thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching it on Facebook, hit the like button, hit the share button. Share with your friends, spread the words. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.